Hey, this is Carla from the Butcher Babies.
This is George Corcoran Fisher from Cannibal Corpse.
Hey, this is Rex from Kill Devil Hill. It's Wednesday 13.
This is Jazz from Devil Driving.
This is Motorist from Quad. You're listening to Rabid Noise
on Rabid Radio.
Turn it up.
Welcome back to Rabid Noise on Rabid Radio. That was the awesome new single Without Me from Evol Walks. And joining us on the program now from the band is Leah Martin-Brown. What's going on, man?
Not much, just getting ready to go back to the States on Wednesday, and I'm going to be going to a music conference over there straight away called NAMM for the entire weekend. So that's pretty much what I'm doing.
NAMM, that's awesome. That's huge.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Our bass player Ian is sponsored by Fender, and we're sponsored by Cold Cock Whiskey, so we've gotten an invite, and we're going to go and check everything out. I get to Anaheim on Wednesday night, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday we'll be going to the conference and going to all the big after parties and stuff. So we're pretty stoked.
Because that's like the hub. That's where all the musos hang out.
Yeah, it's where all the musos hang out. We get to check out the brand new gear that's being released for like the next year or so. It's an awesome place to make connections. They have all these really big bands that have just made it, or are like, people know exactly who they are that are showcasing. And it's just a great place to network and meet people because anyone who's anyone is there usually. I don't know why we're there, but I'm just going to hold on to that title.
Is this your first name?
Yeah, this is my first NAMM. The other boys go every year, but this is my first.
Oh, awesome. That's really exciting. Yeah, I reckon you're just going to have a blast.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be in a bit of trouble. My drummer's warned me we might party a little bit too hard, but that's all right. My hotel is like a 2-minute walk from the place that it's all being held, so at least I can stumble home.
Yeah, that's it. At least you haven't got to get a taxi or get.
Yeah, I don't have to deal with any of that drama, which is awesome.
That is awesome, man. Well, the new single is, of course, a bit different from the stuff you previously released. It's more of a ballad. What inspired you to go in that direction?
I wrote that one a little while ago. I actually originally wrote it in like E-flat tuning. And I don't know, it was raining. I always write depressing songs when it rains. And I took it to my producer along with everything else that we'd done. And, he was I was like, oh, this probably won't be right for the band. It's not what we're doing, but I just really liked it as a song. And he's like, oh, and he, AC/DC did a ballad. It's buried, but they did Ride On and everything. So he said it might be a cool idea to do it. And I just thought we've had 3 singles released now. This is our 4th single. It might be cool to do something that could be a crossover, like not just, Triple M Triple M might play it, maybe Nova might play it. I don't know, who knows? But it's more, I think it's a gateway song that people who wouldn't normally listen to us might hear and be like, oh, okay, maybe we'll check out their other stuff. So I thought it might be a bit time. And I love ballads, don't tell anyone, but I love them.
Everyone does, I think.
Yeah, they're just a little bit emotional, but this one's not, in true Evol Walks style. It's not really a typical, like, oh, I'm so sad love song. It's kind of like a, I don't really love you anymore. I'm sorry. Let's move on. Like, I really apologize. So it's not your usual love ballad, which is cool.
Yeah, it is a bit different. I did notice that. It's good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for giving it a spin.
Yeah. Oh, anytime. So where did you record that one?
I recorded that one, again, with Brian Howes in Studio City in California at the Van House Studios up there. And I actually recorded it in end of February, early March 2014. And then I came back and redid the vocals when I was touring there in November last year. So it's kind of been like revisited and like changed a little bit since last time when I first did it.
Was that your call? Did you just weren't happy with what you did originally with it, or how different was it?
I really liked what we'd done originally, but the feedback that we had from our radio promoters and our managers, because I play that song live at a lot of showcases, and they'd heard me play it and sing it, and they're like, it sounds shit. Why doesn't it sound like it sounds when you sing it live? I was like, I don't know. And I've been going to a really good vocal coach over in the States. So they were like, oh, well, why don't you try and redo the vocals? Because if it's going to be the next single, you can't use it the way it is. Because they had to bury them a lot because the lower notes I was struggling a bit with. And, it was a new song. I'd only written it the day before I recorded it, so I didn't know it very well. I still didn't know what I really wanted to do with it, and I hadn't quite tapped into the emotion I was trying to, emote. So going back and redoing it, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. I already had, the mood of the song that I needed, and I knew it so well that I didn't have to be constantly reminding myself what I needed to do because, I'd been singing it for almost 2 years. So I think that just helped. And then I was also more confident on the lower parts because, I've been working with someone who's helping me get those super deep notes that I was a bit shaky on before.
Well, and you've nailed it. It's such a great tune, man.
Oh, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. It's one of my sneaky favorites. So thank you.
Well, we're talking about vocal influences, of course. Who would you class as, your heroes? Who are your guys?
Well, I love Janis Joplin. Janis Joplin is someone who's just so epic for me. I love Janis. I love Stevie Nicks. Grace Slick from Jefferson Airplane is another one that I just she's incredible. Amy Lee from Evanescence, she's just got this incredible range when she sings. It's very operatic and emotive. I also love the grit that Joan Jett has as well. They're all people that I rate very, very highly as singers, and I try and emulate them if I can in my own special way.
Man, I got to say, but you say emulate, but you've definitely got your own voice.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's good. So I'd like to have my own little brand of it, but when I'm singing, I definitely like to take influence because some of the things that they do with their voices or their the little idiosyncrasies they have is quite cool. So it's kind of good to listen to that and be like, oh, how could I, have something that people went, oh shit, oh, can I say shit?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can say shit.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, sorry. How could I have something like that people hear and go, oh, it's Leah from Evol Walks.
I've heard you many times over the years, and jamming, and you've got, as I said before, you've definitely got your own distinct voice, but you've taken influences from these amazing female vocalists and made it your own. So.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad to hear that from someone who's heard me play. Yeah, because you've heard me since for years now.
Yeah, we used to jam next door.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we were the noisy shits next door.
Yeah, I remember that. We'd be like, oh, they're so loud, but it sounds so good.
I don't know about that, but
I liked it.
Well, thank you. Well, we are actually going to go to the track the other side now, and we'll be back very soon on Rabid Noise.
Hey guys, just want to take a minute to give a shout out to our podcast supporters, RW Promotion, who are the best in the business when it comes to printing posters, flyers, banners, badges, business cards, you name it. They've got what it takes to help you get everything you need to help spread the word about your band or business, and with a blistering turnaround, they'll make sure you get your product ASAP. So get in touch with Richard and the team at www.rwpromotion.com.au or shoot them an email at info@rwpromotion.com.au. Also want to give a shout out to the guys at Blacklight Art and Design, who in my opinion are the Gold Coast best screen printers. So, we've gotten many band shirts and even our own Rabid Noise shirts done through these guys, and they've also got one of the fastest turnarounds I've ever seen. So all quality prints at competitive prices. So whether it's band merchandise, sporting teams, promotional garments or workwear, they've got you covered. So hit them up at www.blacklightad.com.au or email them at info@blacklightad.com.au. So big thanks to those guys for helping us to bring you this podcast each and every week, and for, of course, supporting the metal scene. So now it's back to Rabid Noise.
And we're back with Leah Martin-Brown from Evol Walks. Now, you guys have had an amazing run so far with the band, and recently toured the States, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Our last tour of the year for 2015 was a tour of the what I now know is called the Pacific Northwest, if we want to get fancy about it.
Whereabouts is that? See, I haven't left the Gold Coast, so I don't even know where that is.
I didn't either, don't worry. So we started in, we didn't start in Los Angeles. That was our second show. We went out and we did Phoenix, Arizona, which is, more towards Vegas. And then we did Los Angeles, and then we went up, going through Sacramento and San Fran and places until we got up to Portland and Seattle. So it's kind of the West Coast up to Seattle. That's what they term as the Pacific Northwest, which I did not know until I went on that particular tour.
How many shows was that?
It was only like a small one. We only did 10 shows. So it wasn't, we did 10 shows? 9 shows. We did 9 shows in 10 days or something. It was something like that.
It's still pretty full on. I mean, you've toured Australia before, so you know what it's like here. You may do half that in Australia because it's so spread out. So that's a pretty big tour for what's classed, I guess, as a little tour over there.
Yeah, we were pretty tired because we had just come off an Australian tour, but it was a bit easier when we do Australia because we come from the US. We try and get a minimum of 11 dates. Our one at the start of the year was 14 dates, but it's all very spread out. We have. We'll only do shows Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If we're in Melbourne, we'll manage to do them Tuesday through to Sunday. But you've got a lot of time off in between. This one was quite hard because it was one of the ones that you see on TV where it's literally like wake up, get in the bus, drive for 6 hours, unload, have a quick shower if you're lucky, play a show, load back in, drive back. Even, you have to stay and but stay back and like network with people for a little while, drive back, collapse, get up and do it all over again. Like it was very constant. Whereas the other tours we've been on have been a little bit more relaxed. We've had, we'll do 4 in a row and then have 2 days off or whatever. This wasn't like that.
That's amazing. It must be such a blast though.
Yeah, we had a great time. This was a really funny tour. It was hilarious because we also had another band from Switzerland on with us called Death by Chocolate, and then we had a solo artist called Sean Kelly as well. So it wasn't just us. There was a kind of group of us, and it was a bit chaotic, but in a good way.
That's awesome, man. Well, what would you say is from your perspective, the difference between touring, say, Europe and the States compared to Australia?
I don't know. Like, I think in Australia we always get a really, really warm welcome, not just because they enjoy our music, but because, a lot of them are people that we know, or they're people who, we've met previously, or they know someone that and they're there to have a good time, and, they appreciate how far the distance is that you've actually driven to get to that show. We sometimes drive, we drove to a show in Newcastle from Queensland. It took us 8.5, 9 hours to get to that show. We were on stage for 45 minutes, and people were just, psyched about it. Whereas, it's a lot harder work in Australia, hours wise. Whereas in the States and Europe, you'll pack a room out, no issues. They'll have no idea who you are. They'll be really supportive of you, but it's not the same vibe. After the show, 1 or 2 people come chat to you, and then it'll just be off doing other things. I think they're a bit scared of you, maybe. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like in Australia we have more of a connection with the fans because they come and they party with you afterwards, and in America they come and say hi, but it's mostly the people that you're touring with. But I don't know. I always just love touring Australia. I'd love to just tour Australia all the time.
Back home, but you got to go out there and spread the good word, rock and roll.
Yeah, you get to meet some pretty interesting people and see some beautiful cities. So I'm very lucky.
Well, you played Woodstock in Poland, right?
Yes.
That's insane. That was 250,000 people?
Yeah, that was watching our set there was about that. That was pretty incredible. We didn't really realise how many people were there when we were on stage because it was the biggest gig of our lives. We were just so focused on giving a good performance. We'd kind of psyched ourselves into being all right, only pay attention to the first 5 rows, just work your asses off, get involved in the set, and make sure that you look at each other so you don't run into each other. And that's, we saw the photos and videos later, we were like, oh shit, there are a lot of fucking people here. Can I say that? I just did.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. It's internet radio, and it's late night. So with that, I mean, what's your trick for that? Because it's one thing playing in front of a couple of hundred people or 1,000 people, but that many people, what would you say